is called Clean Getaway, and it's by Nick Stone. And I'm just going to give you a little synopsis first. So this is all about the story of William Scoob Lamar. That's his nickname. And he seems to not be able to stay out of trouble at school and actually gets grounded by his dad. However, his grandmother shows up one day and asks if he wants to go on an impromptu road trip. And Scoob is right out the door, going with Grandma. Without telling Dad, leaves a note, even leaves his phone behind, and he's out of there. And they embark on this adventure, this RV adventure together. So this is definitely a realistic fiction book. It's got comedy in it, but then also a lot of heart with the family dynamics as well. So I'm going to read you chapter 1. Here we go. Each of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done. Brian Stevenson. Chapter 1, or I should say, Route 1. Quite a ways to go. It might sound silly, but to William Scoob Lamar, the Welcome to Alabama the Beautiful sign looks, well, beautiful. Not as beautiful as his best friend Shanice Lockwood would in her yellow sundress, but beautiful enough to make Scoob tip his head back, close his eyes, and sigh into the breeze blowing through the open passenger side window of Gama's Winnebago. Exhale Dad's lockdown. Inhale the sweet fragrance of freedom, which smells like pine mixed with a little bit of truck exhaust. You all right there, Scuba-Doob? Gama says from the driver's seat. She's propped up on the gingham-covered foam wedge she uses to see over the steering wheel. Pale, polka-dotted little hands perfectly positioned at 10 and 2. She's only 4 feet 11 inches. Gama is. I'll show you a picture. There she is, all propped up. Hearing his full nickname makes Scoob cringe. Gama gave it to him when he was 5 years old and obsessed with an old cartoon he used to watch at her house about a dog who liked to solve mysteries. Gama thought it was just too adorable that he couldn't pronounce Scooby-Doo. And because Shanice was Grandma's neighbor, she picked up on the nickname and started using it at school. So it stuck. Well, the Scoob part did, which is fine. Kinda cool, even. Scooba-Doob, though? Gama, he says, you mind if we stick to Scoob? The rest is a little babyish. No offense, he adds. Oh, none taken, Gama says. My apologies, Mr. Scoob. I mean, you can drop the Mr. too, Scoob goes on. This makes Gama laugh. Which makes Scoob laugh. He'd never tell anybody, but there's really no sound in the world he loves more than his grandmother's barking laughter. Dad's not a fan, says it grates on him because it's the one reminder of Gama's smoking days and potential future lung cancer. But it reminds Scoob of elementary school days, playing card games she taught him that he wasn't supposed to know the rules for, like Texas Hold'em and Blackjack. Even now, it blows Scoob's mind that a harsh, booming sound like that could come out of a person as little as Gama. I mean it though, she says. You feeling all right? I'm not driving too fast, am I? She kicks him a wrinkly wink. Now Scoob's the one laughing. He looks up from the brand new road map she handed him once they were both settled and seatbelted. According to the speedometer, the brand new Winnebago he and Gama are in has a max speed of 120 miles per hour, but Gama has yet to push the needle to 60. Definitely not too fast, Gama, though. I do wonder if there's a minimum speed limit law you're breaking. Oh, you hush, she says. Speaking of which, you never said if you liked my new sweet ride or not. That's what you kids call it these days, right? A sweet ride? She says it in a way that makes her sound like a smarmy used car salesman with oil-slicked hair. Scoob chuckles and shakes his head. Then he peeks over his shoulder into the back. Truthfully, when she popped up out of the blue and asked if Scoob wanted to go on a little adventure, he was too geeked at the thought of the loophole in his punishment to give much thought to anything else, their destination included. Especially when she said he'd probably miss a few days of school. Bonus! He finished item 3, emptied the dishwasher on the to-do list Dad left for him on the kitchen whiteboard every day, and grabbed a suitcase. Then, after scribbling Dad a quick note about being with Gama for the night, Scoob hightailed it out the house as fast as off-brand sneaker-clad feet would carry him. Even left his phone at home. Largely so Dad can't call him, but he won't tell Gama that. The suitcase had been sitting in Scoob's closet for a month. Dad promised Scoob a trip to St. Simon's Island this year. Scoob's first choice was Universal Studios, but Dad said Scoob was too old for that. He's been too young the previous year, but whatever. So Scoob packed up according to Dad's specifications 3 days before they were supposed to depart. Except they didn't go. Scoob got in trouble at school, and voila, trip canceled. Lockdown commenced. Spring break ruined before it could even begin. Scoob hadn't been able to bring himself to unpack the bag, so he hid it. Now he can see it sitting on the seat of the dining booth in Gama's new sweet ride. Scoob was in such a rush to get out that he didn't fully click that he and Gama weren't in a Mini Cooper until she asked him to get out of his seat, while the vehicle was in motion, and grab a GPS from the fridge. That's Grandma's protein shake, otherwise known as Ensure for her. Fridge? Scoob thought, light bulb slowly illuminating. That's when he looked behind him for the first time, and almost choked on the gum that shot down his throat when he gasped. "Ain't he handsome?" Gama said, smacking the dashboard twice. "Brand spanking new, this fella. I decided to call him Senior after your late grandfather. He and I had a Winnebago back in the day before your dad was born, and G-Pop," she paused, then, "anyway, I ain't getting any younger. Sold my house and bought this baby." "You sold your house?" Scoob said, stunned. "Sure did. Fetched a pretty penny for it, too. God bless home equity and hipsters looking to revitalize, or whatever the heck they're calling it." Wow. Was there anything else he could have said? She sold her house. "Well, you gonna get me that GPS or not?" Scoob gulped, removed his seatbelt, and made his way to the back. Dad would have breathed fire and shot smoke out of his ears if he'd been around to see. As he opened the for real fridge with a separate freezer, Gama gave him a rundown of Senior's features. "You see those lights above the head?" Scoob looked up. "Yeah? Those are LEDs," she said. "Real state-of-the-art. There's also a microwave, a 2-burner cooktop, and 2 Ultra HD TVs where you can watch anything. Rated PG-13 or lower. That's it." Scoob rolled his eyes. Gama pushed on. "Bathrooms there to the left of the mini pantry. Got a flushing toilet and a shower. And that dining booth you see there doubles as a bed. And speaking of beds, there's ones in the rear for me, and the one for you right above the cab here. There's a window up there and everything, kiddo." Scoob could hear the proud smile in her voice, which made him smile too, despite the fact that she called him kiddo. As he grabbed the drink for Gama and saw that the fridge was fully stocked, Scoob realized he'd never again play on the old tire swing in Gama's backyard or kick back on the old window seat in the attic with his favorite book. When it hit him that this bizarre truck that contained everything a person needs to live, this thing was now Gama's house? Well, creepy. Gama's fingers do a tap dance on the steering wheel, pulling him back into the present, and he takes a deep breath and lets his eyes continue to roam around the open space behind them. It's so weird for him that if he has to pee, all he's got to do is walk like 15 feet to the little bathroom, and it flushes. Where does the stuff even go? It's not like they're connected to a sewer. And what about the dirty dish and shower water? Gama's house had one of those old school bathtubs with the fancy metal feet, and Scoob secretly loved to get in it with 1 or 2 of the lemon-sized balls Gama would buy that would fizz up like Alka-Seltzer and turn the bath all kinds of wild colors. Plop, fizz. And the water would be blue and kind of shimmery, like taking a bath in the galaxy. This RV doesn't have a tub, so no more galaxy baths. His gaze catches on the kitchenette thingy as he faces forward, which just adds to the sudden sadness. He can't imagine Gama baking her blue ribbon-winning cast-iron French toast, first pan-toasted, then baked in the pan for a few minutes for extra crispiness on the outside, on that rinky-dink cooktop thingy. No more extra sweet Arnold Palmer on the porch swings, no more reading in front of the fire. In all honesty, the RV gives Scoob the willies, but of course he can't tell Gama that, not when she's so excited about it. "Well," she says, taking her baby blue eyes off the road to look at him. Second only to Shanice's honey brown ones, Gama's got the prettiest eyes Scoob's ever seen. "What do you think, kiddo?" Scoob traces the handle of his door and gulps down his true feelings. "I think it's great, Gama," he says with forced enthusiasm. Whether or not she can tell he's lying, Scoob doesn't know. "Good," she says. "Settle on in. We've got quite a ways to go." So this is a very fun adventure between Scoob and his grandma on this trip that was not planned at all. How he's kind of just like coasting out of Dodge, not telling his dad. You'll find out what happened at school and, what's going on with their story and why the grandma wants to take him on this adventure. So, Clean Getaway by Nick Stone. Fabulous. It's a super quick read. And I love that there, are pictures in it like I showed you. The lovely grandma. Pictures throughout, so that's always fun. It's a good one to pick up.